I need something to cover my bald spot so I don't get all sunburned, and this is what I've got. Hey, morning everyone. It is Monday, and one of these mornings so far. As you see the hat? I don't know where my other hat is, my main hat. The problem is, pretty girl has this bad habit of using my hat as a toy, and then it disappears. So we're hoping to find it later today. But for now, I need something to cover my bald spot so I don't get all sunburned. And this is what I've got. I was able to get some cuttings from a bamboo. A guy I know has does some landscaping work around here, and he was telling me someone he knew had some bamboo. Showed me where it was, and there was a little bit hanging over the fence, so I snipped some. We're gonna try and get it to grow. Now, bamboo is one of those things that grows pretty easily from cuttings. What you need is a node, all right, like here, here, and here. So we're going to cut each one of these up, and each one of them is going to be a possible new plant. Now, bamboo needs a lot of water, so we're going to put it right back at the edge of right along that stream. We're literally going to stick these in the mud on that stream and hope that they root and start growing. All right, we've cut these up. And we've got, what do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. We got 13 little nodes, and we're gonna see, hopefully we'll get a bunch of these to grow. And another thing, this morning I get here, and look at this canal. It is just ridiculously flooded. It's so bad, the water has gone over this into the swale to fill this swale, which is not what we need to do. The problem is there's a little bridge here, and that bridge is all blocked off. We need to open this up so the water can flow through instead of over this, because this is really just ridiculously wet. This is a problem. I mean, the water has flowed over the canal into this, and this whole section over here is flooded too. This issue with the canal being dammed up is not a good thing. Look at the water we've got over here. This canal is overflowed and flooded this entire forest section. Now, I did call the guy because we can't get to the blockage. I tried to have my guys dig out the blockage, and they couldn't get to it, so it's wedged deep under that bridge. But we've got several inches of water all over this forest, this whole place. All right, take a look at how much water we've got here. This is not a good thing. And one day like this won't be a problem, but if it stayed like this for a while, it would be an issue. If the trees we had weren't as well established, it would be an issue. Some of the new trees could be in serious danger. I hope not. I'm really hoping that these teak, this teak doesn't get damaged by it, but this much water could actually do damage. Last year we lost a lot of silky oaks early in the growing stage because they had been damaged by the water. Too much water alters the pH and causes an issue. I'm hoping these have been in long enough to get a root deep enough so it's not a problem, but it's hard to say. We're at the very back of the property. Okay, so you understand where we are. This is the very back of the property, and right here we've got this little stream. This is overflow from the canal, and it's also overflow from the cane field behind us. So this area is wet a lot. This is the wettest part of our property. So what we're going to do is we're going to plant some of this. We're just going to stick this stuff in the ground right along the edge here, so it's kind of in the mud, and it's always going to be wet, or as wet as we can get it on this property. Now, the first one we're going to plant is this. Again, all we need is this little node. I forget what this is called, but I call it just a node. This is where you'll get roots to grow. So this is what you need. Now we've cleared a little spot here. If you take a look, he's got a little edge. There's some mud there. And we're just gonna stick this. All right, stick that in there below the water line. Just get it deep enough so it's under water the whole time. All right, good. Now just put some mud around it and bingo. Now this is gonna be as wet as we can possibly get it here. All right, this clay holds water real well and it's right next to this waterway, so every time they put water through the canal or there's water in the cane field, this place gets water. That's why this area is the wettest place we have. Looks like the ebony is in bloom and the bees have found it. We've got to have half a dozen bees on this one tree alone. Unfortunately, it's time I get new water boots. My feet are soaking wet in this boot. So clearly there's a leak. So this boot, junk, no good anymore. The damn thorns out here are so bad, they just cause all kinds of troubles. So anyway, I gotta head back to the house. I got work to do there and gotta check up on the kids. The shy one is home alone with the little one, so as good as she is, I want her to know that I'm around, so I'm going to head home, help take care of them. We'll be back. Well, we're back, and I don't know why I keep getting surprised. It never ceases to amaze me at how things happen on this island. We've got this canal. Let's see, you can see the canal. See how the water's flooded over? And it's all the water's flooded into this part of the field. And take a look, here's the bridge. The water's supposed to keep going down, but because there's a blockage in that bridge, none of the water is actually going where it's supposed to go. It's flooding my field over here, and the water's flooding over here, and it's filling up the swale system at least. I mean, problem is that swale system's already full. So we got a real issue. And I called him this morning because I know he wants water to go down the road. He wants water downstream. There's a guy probably half a mile, maybe a mile down the stream here, who's got big fish ponds, and that guy needs water. I guarantee that's what that water's for. And instead of the water going where it's supposed to go, it's flooding out my property. Now, I called him 6 hours ago, and no one has been here yet. I just called him back, and he said he can't believe they didn't come, but I don't know why he can't believe it. I'm not one bit surprised. This is the way it works here. I need this thing unblocked tonight. I can't have this thing flooding my place out all night. So we really need him to get back. Ow. Stepped on another thorn in my boot. Now, I'm not sure how good this comes out, but as you see, there's there's current right there. So I think we've opened up at least some of the blockage, or at least, let me rephrase. I opened up some of this blockage. I came in here with a couple of tools and dug out what I could. And I think we've got some water flowing underneath. I don't know if it's enough. All right, guys, here it is. Opened it up this time. Look at that. Man, there was a major blockage here. And take a look at the difference. Take a look down here. So we broke it loose, and makes an amazing difference. Look at the water. Look at the power of the water flowing through here. So that's quite a difference. Now the problem is we got to put our bridges back in place. That piece of wood there is one of our bridges, or a piece of our bridge. So this should start going down now. Quite a difference. Quite a difference. I continue to be amazed at how much water we get from that canal overflowing. And this happens more often than it should. There's a lot more water here than we want. Let's hope the fact that I popped that thing open will give us a reprieve from all this water. Let's hope it wasn't too much to do any harm, because some of these trees don't like too much water. We'll find out. Nothing we can do now. Just wait and see. The only trees that are really in danger are the newer trees. Trees like this teak right here. That could be in trouble. Over here I've got some lemongrass. I've got this ebony. That blue maho that doesn't look very good. They could be in trouble too. Hopefully not. But we're going to have to, this, again, here's another teak. This teak doesn't look bad. It looks very good. But let's hope this much water doesn't damage it, because the newer trees are the ones that could be in trouble. They get that bathtub effect. I want to take a minute and explain bathtubbing, because it's a problem. And it's something we have to be very careful with. I think it's what cost me some of those silky oaks early last year. When you dig into this clay, you're left with a clay bottom. And a clay bottom is what you make ponds out of. So clay tends to keep water. When you then fill that hole, what we do is we pack that hole with compost, peat moss, and then more of the clay. We mix it all together. You end up with a section where water flows through, and then that hard clay layer. That hard clay layer ends up trapping water above it and creates a bathtub-like. So when you put a lot of water into that early, what you end up doing is sogging out the roots. The roots get trapped and over moisture, too much water in the roots. They just can't handle that much water, and they end up rotting out because there's no drainage in the subsoil. The trees that do well are the ones that have been in the ground long enough for their root system to dig into the subsoil, to break through that bathtub bottom. And I'm hoping that this much water this time of year hasn't totally ruined it, but it's going to be an issue. I'm a little worried, but there's nothing we can do about it. We just have to wait. Now that I've gotten the water flowing, hopefully the water will continue to move. What I'm seeing is the water's moving from over there down this way, and it's filling this section. So hopefully the water will just keep flowing this way, because this section is really kind of dry. We're starting to see the water, and it'll dissipate the water. That's what I'm hoping. It's only been maybe 10-15 minutes. Look at the difference already. Water's flowing beautifully. The water on this bridge has already started to subside, and the water that overflowed has stopped flowing as well. Now we need to reinstate our bridges, get our bridges back in place, but looks like we got the water problem straightened out. Now let's hope the water in the field over here settles soon enough. Now here's why we put all this mulch down. If you take a look at the grass all around us. This grass is 5, 6, 7 feet tall in many places, but right here, this Spanish elm tree is doing just fine. It's not as big as some of the others, but it's protected. We've got a good layer of mulch all the way around this tree, so it didn't get smothered by this grass. I'm expecting to find a lot of trees that look just like this throughout this place, because over in this section, we did mulch almost every tree. And that should have a big impact on how they look. Now here's an example of a tree that really needed pruning, and it was hidden back here, so I didn't get to it. What it had, if you see, let me show. Right here, we had 4 stems coming up. So the main stem ended up coming off to the side, and it got all lopsided. Now yesterday, I didn't have my pruning shears, so I just took out my pocket knife and cut it. But today, Brought the shears. We're going to cut this off clean and get this thing to grow straight again. I find myself getting a little frustrated here because the only trees we're finding are the mahogany and the silky oak. Not that I mind that, because both of them are fantastic trees, but we had cedar and blue mahoe and Spanish elm all throughout here, but we're only finding the mahogany. Like, here's a mahogany. It's a great looking tree. It needs a little more space to grow. I'm hoping now that the grass has been cut around it, it'll do better, but it's a good looking tree. Now here's a silky oak. This one's about 5 feet tall or so. I kind of pruned it a little bit, but I'm going to prune it some more. It's a good looking tree. Now, considering our best growers are these silky oak and the mahogany, it's a little frustrating because this is a section where we ran out of silky oaks. We only have a couple back here. We've got a few mahoganies back here, but the silky oaks are the ones we ran out of. So we're going to be replacing anything back here that needs to be replanted. We're going to replant this place. Obviously, there's a lot of work to be done replanting, but we're going to get more silky oaks, and since they grow so well, we're going to try and focus on the silky oak and the mahogany. We need to find another good tree to go in here. We've had real bad luck with the cedar. The blue mahoes do all right, kind of. I'm hoping to see them do better, but they're not doing so good so far. Now, our last order of business is to take care of these 2 stumps. Since we don't use any chemicals, we're forced to use natural ways to kill stumps. And these stumps all grow back. And we put a fire on them. We put a fire on them to make sure they don't grow back, and it helps get rid of them, obviously. But the goal is to kill them. And these were growing back. As you see, we've got a lot of growth here. So we're getting a little fire on them to kill off anything that may be, to kill these trees off so they don't come back. This is the last thing we're going to do today before we're out of here. All right, that's it for today, guys. We got quite a bit done. And we're going to be coming back tomorrow. We got to get this grass under control. And we got to get the tree stumps that are still alive in there, get them killed off. Really hoping to get trees in the ground next week. We're just going to have to see. But for now, we're out of here. We're going to pack up. The guys are all packed up, so we're going to head home. So we'll see everyone tomorrow. God bless.